Hello everybody, my name is Rich, also known as the Seventh Sword, and I've decided to start my little vlog here, um, but I'm filming this on my smartphone, so I apologize if the quality is a little bit lacking. It's filming in HD, but it's not the same. Anyway, I'm going to be calling this vlog Rich's Wishes, and it's where I tell you guys how I wish things ended up being in certain games, or even how they should be, in my opinion, in just certain genres in general or just certain aspects of the gaming industry. Today I'm going to be talking about free-to-play. For those of you out there who do not know what free-to-play is or not familiar with it, free-to-play is a structure of game that is kind of geared towards newer gamers. It works better on newer gamers because it allows you to play a game without the risk of actually spending money on it. So you think. However, their structure actually, to me, is pay to win. Not all free-play games are set up that way, but a majority of them are. It puts you in front of a paywall where you feel that you need to buy a stronger item or a stronger set of armor or whatever the item is that you need to progress forward. And I hate this type of gameplay. I hate it a lot. My hate is so passionate because games used to be about getting away for a little while, exploring another world, not worrying about, money, not worrying about your financial status in the world. And now it's putting all that stress, that outside stress into the game. And you end up paying more for it. Games that are $60, people are freaking out. Oh my god, this game is $60. Oh, that's too expensive. That's too expensive. And yeah, that is expensive. But there are people spending thousands of dollars on these games. And you know what? They love the game, so they're going to put the money into it. But they're getting ripped off. And whether they see it or not, they're getting ripped off. Because think about other games that you spend $60 for and how much content you get out of it, how much time you can put into it. I have friends who have put hundreds and hundreds of hundreds and probably even thousands of hours into Battlefield alone, and they only spent $60, maybe 120 with the season pass. But then I have some friends who have spent thousands of dollars on Vindictus or thousands of dollars on League of Legends. And you know what? League of Legends is a beautifully crafted game, and it's probably one of the best free-to-play games ever because you can actually play that game and not spend a dime. That game, I mean, you spend money in that game, you're choosing to spend money in that game, so you love it. But it's still ridiculous that you can spend that much money on one game now. I mean, that was never possible, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It just wasn't. And I wish that it was structured a little bit differently. Keep your free-to-play model. Allow the gamer to play the game, mess around with the mechanics for a little bit, and if they want to put $5, $10, $15, $20 here, for new skins, new weapons, items, whatever it is they want, go ahead, do that. But if there's a gamer who just loves the game outright and it's like, you know what, I love this game. I can't put $2,000 into it to get everything I want. And you know what? They shouldn't have to. It's a game. It's not a new car that you have to put a new engine in. It's not a computer that you're buying a motherboard for and a new graphics card for. It's a game. So they should really have an option for you to outright buy the full version of this game. And they can set the price point. They can make it the standard $60, or if they feel they have a lot more extra content, they can make it $100. Whatever they want to do. But they need to take out the ridiculous pay-to-win cost walls. And think about that. Think about it. If you had the option to spend $60 and then you own that game, and then the drop rates increase to actually a fair drop rate. Example, Vindictus is a game where not only is the drop rate just ridiculous, you can't even fight the bosses that drop the items as many times as you want. You can only fight them a certain amount of times a day. It's gotten to the point where you're paying for paint in that game. You're paying for colors for your outfits. Rare colors. It's ridiculous. People are spending real live dollars on these things. And I don't know. I don't see why. It just doesn't make sense to me when you're buying digital paint for your character. You're spending that much money for digital paint. But anyway, I digress. I just wish that there was an option for you to purchase the game fully outright and get fair drop rates and access to all the items within that game at some point in time, and not actually have it take 2,000 hours or $2,000. Because yes, you can. These free-to-play games advertise that, you can get every item in the game. It'll take you your whole life, but you can get every item in the game without paying a dime. You just have to play it constantly every single day. And I understand, game makers need to make money for their games. But there's making a profit, and then there's being greedy about it. Games used to be about having fun, playing with your friends, enjoyment. and then the game makers made money, and then they got to make another game, a sequel, and everyone was happy about it. Now people just want to keep milking one game for as long as they possibly can and introduce small little new ideas as they go. And that can work for a little while, but unfortunately it gets stagnant after a little bit. You keep doing the same exact thing with a fresh coat of paint on it, and you have to pay for that fresh coat of paint. So it's getting ridiculous. That's my opinion. I want to know what your guys' opinions are, whether you agree with me, whether or you don't agree with me. You know, let's have a conversation about it. I want to hear your guys' theories, and maybe you have a better one. I don't know. Maybe you just want free-to-play to be gone altogether. I wouldn't mind that one. Maybe you like free-to-play, and tell me why. Obviously, it has its good aspects. I'm talking about my opinions here and my experience with it. I know that it does have some positive aspects as well, and I would like to take those aspects and bring them in and focus on those. But yeah, that was episode 1 of Rich's Wishes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later.